Welcome to Intentional Divorce Insights. I'm Leah Hadley, certified divorce financial analyst, accredited financial counselor, and the founder of Intentional Divorce Solutions. I'll be your guide through the complexities of divorce, finance, and emotional wellness. Join me as we uncover practical tips and empowering insights to help you navigate your divorce with clarity and intention. Welcome back to Intentional Divorce Insights. I am so happy that you are here with us, and it is my absolute pleasure to introduce our guest today. With over 35 years as an investment advisor, Lynn Kitchen is now giving back through education. In her financial clinic, she distills her knowledge into easy-to-understand financial courses. A pioneer from a young age, Lynn was among the first women on the West Coast to establish her own broker dealership. She has since built and sold 2 investment advisory firms. Now, Lynn has founded Money Talks for Women, a transformative financial clinic designed to elevate women's understanding of investing, enhancing their confidence to make informed decisions. Lynn believes that every woman has an inner ace money manager just waiting to be unleashed. They simply haven't been shown how. And she says, that's where I step in. Lynn is on a mission to equip 1,000 women with the tools for financial freedom, empowering them to make significant impacts in the world. Thank you so much for being here with us, Lynn. It's such a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you, Leah. I'm delighted to be on with someone who believes just exactly the same as I do, to empower women and to help women to create financial freedom and make better decisions.
Absolutely. And you have such an amazing background and have been at this for so long. Can you tell us a little bit about your background as a pioneer in the financial industry?
Yeah, I'd love to. I jumped into the financial business right out of college at a time when women were not allowed to be a stockbroker directly with no experience, and that was me at the time. You actually had to pay your dues first. You had to be a secretary to a stockbroker for at least 5 to 7 years, or you had to be an assistant to a stockbroker. They didn't trust women to work directly with the public. But I said, no, I'm a good salesman. I deserve this opportunity. So I was just one of those, glass ceiling breakers in our generation.
That's awesome.
And I landed a job right out of college as a stockbroker. And within 4 years of working with a major company, I established my own broker-dealer, which at the time was unheard of. There were women in New York City who were establishing their broker-dealers. But on the West Coast, kind of out in podunk West Coast, it was slower going. But I said, this is my chance. So I opened my first broker-dealer and began to hire other women to give them a chance to, get up the ladder, the corporate ladder in finance, and help other women to do the same. And it was wonderful opportunity. I built the company, I sold it, and then I joined another firm. It was a small boutique investment advisory firm who they were looking for a partner who knew how to run an investment advisory firm. And so I joined them. It was just 3 of us. And we built up that company and eventually sold it. So it was a total of 35 years. And during that time, we had a nonprofit called Pacific School of Finance, where I taught investment courses to adults. And it was a way to, get clients who would be better educated. And what I learned was that education makes a big difference in how a client actually progresses. And you know that, Leah. And I just want to take a moment here to commend you, Leah, and tell your audience how amazing it is to be working with someone, or in this audience, attracted to someone like Leah, who is dedicating her life really to helping women in the financial area, to empower you, to help raise your thinking, to help raise your standards, potentially going through some tough times in life, right? But every one of us needs someone like Leah in our corner who has the kind of financial background, experience, and dedication to your needs. And that's what I loved about being in the financial business myself was that opportunity.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Lynn. I really appreciate that. Now, you've seen a lot in working with people in all different kinds of scenarios. What has been your experience with women as investors when they're getting divorced or they're going through a difficult financial transition?
That's a great question. My experience being an investment advisor for 35 years. Now, remember, I retired now. I think it's been about 10 years I've been retired. But during that time, it was rare to find women as who would come forth with a portfolio, to come forth with being the decision maker on her own. It was rare. Maybe a handful, maybe two handfuls in a career of 35 years. It was rare. Most women would come as a couple or a part of a couple, and most women I noticed were very reticent. They didn't want to speak up. They wanted their husband or their significant other to lead. They were there to kind of learn, to absorb. Maybe later they would have discussions and the woman would have her opinion. But I noticed that it was and it was disturbing to me. And I would always, try to pull out the woman who was across the desk and ask her opinion. And it was interesting that most women felt as if they didn't want to give me their real opinion in front of their spouse.
Right.
Sometimes they would call me later and say, "Hey, I heard what you said, and I'm in agreement, but I'm kind of nervous about this, this, and this. What can you help? Can you help with that?" And so I very much think that women have been culturally ingrained to take a back seat. And then when they get into trouble, for example, or they, like you had mentioned, in your specialty is divorce or other times in which a woman finds herself in need of being that leader, they're not equipped. They're not very well equipped. Or not just divorce, but other life threatening or life situations, like a spouse dies and then suddenly you're in control, but you don't know much about it. And so historically, I think women we have control of the purse. We end up with ownership of a lot of the assets in America, and yet we act as if it's somebody else's job.
It's so true. It's so true. I see it all the time. So I think that we can agree that many women fear that they will be left behind financially or that it's too late for them. Why do you believe that it's never too late, Lynn?
I believe it's never too late. I'm so glad. I know you believe that too, Leah, don't you?
Absolutely.
It's never too late. We can have the rug pulled out from under us. We can go from 100 to 0 pretty quickly in a lifetime. And sometimes it happens to us several times in a lifetime. I mean,
That's
none of
true.
us are you get out of jail free on that one, on that card.
Right.
All of us go through times in which we have to start over. But those are the times when we actually learn about our resiliency. We actually learn about our power as an individual, as a woman, as someone who can go again, who can rise up again, and with the proper kind of guidance and having people around you who are willing to support you, a specialist like Leah, who not only has the understanding of the financial world, and being a brilliant portfolio manager and specialist. It's great to have specialists in your corner, but it's also important to learn a mindset that it's never too late. It is never too late. And I'll give you a great example. You know, in the 1987 crash, some of you may not be old enough to have to have gone through that crash, but believe me, I was managing money through that crash, and we had many clients who came to us after that crash who had lost everything. You know, they may have been leveraged. They put too much on margin, meaning they borrowed against their stocks and they just went really way out into debt. A lot of people do that in real estate. It doesn't matter whether it's stock market, real estate, you know, whatever your asset classes are, it can happen. Those implosions can happen.
Sure.
And it's not even your fault. But we easily were able to reconstruct an opportunity, and within 5 years, those clients were back on track. And so it doesn't take that long. What it does take is someone in your corner who has the knowledge and the experience to begin again.
Right. Right. It's so important. And speaking of which, education is so important. And you have this fantastic financial clinic that is supporting women. Can you tell us a little bit about why education is so important and talk to us about the clinic?
Yes, thank you. Well, now, after retiring and then playing around for 10 years or so, I had an intuition that now's my time to give back. I actually had a little voice inside me that said, well, you know, I'm in an advanced age, as you can see. And I had this little voice saying, well, are you going to die with all this information left inside you? And I realized, you know, I do have 35 years and a lot of experience, not just in the stock market, but bonds and real estate and all of these different asset classes. Why wouldn't it be now that I could give back and help other women? So I formed a financial clinic. It's online, it's easily accessible. And I know that there are a lot of investment tools online, and it's easy. Now, you know, data is available to us. Information is so available that sometimes it's confusing and overwhelming. So what I love to do, because I have a background in teaching this and keeping it simple, what I love to do is take complex financial strategies and make them so simple that a high school person can understand it, whether you're male or female. And what I believe that's lacking and is, you know, that I encourage you to think about for yourself, those of you who are watching, is why not me? Why can't I be a confident investor? Why can't I change myself into wanting to make better decisions, which is one of the things that I know that you stand for, Leah. Making better decisions takes education. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, it takes
Absolutely.
more than just going to sleep at night and being afraid of what your circumstances or, you know, what your portfolio and all of the different responsibilities that you might be facing now. But if you have some education, it makes everything more simple. You can move forward faster, and you can change your life, and you can believe in yourself. Because at the bottom, underneath all of that, is confidence. The confidence to become someone in control who can master your own financial destiny. I mean, that's really what we want, isn't it, ladies? To have, at the end of the day, enough money to outlive our lives and to be able to do the things that we want, have all of the money that is required to fulfill our dreams, and to really have the kind of life that we want. And when you roll that back and you say, well, what could make the difference between where I am now and that dream in the future? Leah has an answer. My answer is education. And Leah's here to help you actually, you know, put things in place. But what about you? What are you doing to bring yourself up? And I think that inside every single woman, here's my belief. I believe inside every single woman is an ace money manager, just waiting. They're just waiting to be empowered. And empowerment is nothing more than the willingness to learn more, a little bit of time that you want to educate yourself. And with that education, I mean, leaps and bounds. It goes pretty quickly. You can transform your life that way. And not only that, but you can become a better client. You can work, you'll hear Leah talking about the concepts and you'll be able to say, now I get, oh yeah, I understand what she's talking about. Boom, boom, boom. And don't you agree, Leah? It's better to work with someone who has a little bit of partnership. It's good partnering.
Absolutely. So, one of the things that we often talk about with our clients who are recently divorced is when we're talking about risk tolerance, a lot of people are feeling more conservative post divorce because of everything that they've just gone through. And one of the things that we talk about is as you become a more educated investor, you can feel more comfortable taking risk and getting higher returns. But we have to be able to elevate that knowledge base in order to get to a position where that makes sense and it's the appropriate recommendation.
Bingo. I couldn't say it better. And where do people go to get that education? I know that Leah takes great pride in helping you, everyone who's here. And, I believe in it. I believe in education, and I also believe in giving people opportunities to learn.
So, tell us more about the financial clinic.
Well, it is an opportunity. It's classwork, but it's in bite-sized pieces. So 1 month, 4 times a week, we gather for an hour or hour and a half, and we begin at the beginning. So I have a beginner's course. You matriculate after 1 month pretty fast. To the second month, which is, it's like a pathway. You can go from beginner, and by the third month, there's an almost, you can kind of consider yourself as advanced, because we make it simple and very quick and easy. Those are the courses. And however, if you feel like you're not really ready for that, I also have a community of like-minded women, and we just get on Zoom and have Q&As every Wednesday night, and that's called a membership program. Wealth Builders Express. Get on board. It's like a fast train to learning more. But it is in a community of like-minded women where they ask me questions and I give laser coaching or answers on different parts of the economy that maybe they don't understand or would like to know. And sometimes they don't really have the confidence to ask their husband or ask, a question to anyone else. And so we make it a safe space so that any question is a possibility. So it's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. And you have a special offer for our audience, right?
I do, just for you. And this is because I absolutely want to support what you are doing, Leah, in the world, with women going through different times of their life of maybe divorce, but it could be that you're moving forward and really making progress and you're beginning to build wealth. And so I'm inviting those people who really want a little bit more education. My offer is to come join me on the membership for 1 month to this Q&A, question and answer with the like-minded women. It's a community of women. I invite you for a free 1 month of, so it's really 4 sessions. Come on board. If you miss the session, it's a replay available to you, both video and audio replay. And it's a $79 value. And I'd love to give you the taste of that for free for 1 month.
Fantastic.
Just because you're Leah's guest.
That's wonderful. And we will leave the details below how you can take advantage of that. So wherever you're watching this, check out for the details in the show notes, and we'll make sure that you have access to that free month, which is such a generous offer. Thank you so much, Lynn, for that. Now, when it comes to reinventing oneself financially after divorce, or any other traumatic shift in one's life, what would you say is the number one most important action step a woman can take to improve her life?
The number one most important action step that a woman can take, not only after divorce, but anytime, is now. Now begins the beginning of the rest of your life. I mean, that's a cliche, but it is so true. Begin now, right where you are, with what you have. And believe me, we always have more than we think we do.
That's right. Any final words for our audience, Lynn?
I'm just excited that we are two women together, really locking elbows and saying to the world, hey, there's more. There's more for us. Let's move forward fast so that we can build wealth together and have the kind of impact that I know more and more women want to make in this world. And why not you? Why not us? And why not now?
Absolutely. I love that, Lynn. Thank you again so much for joining us and sharing your wisdom with us today. I know that everybody got a lot out of today's episode, and I do hope people will take advantage of this very special offer that you've made for us.
I hope so too. Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you for all the great work you're doing in the world. I support it 100%.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me on Intentional Divorce Insights. It's a privilege to share this time with you. I hope each episode offers valuable guidance to navigate your journey. If you find our content helpful, please leave a review to help others discover the benefits of intentional decision-making in divorce. Until next time, take care and continue to embrace your path with intention.